Hey everyone, this is Dina. I hope that my Transylvanian accent and my foodie information has by now become so familiar to you that you feel it's the voice of an old friend.
Full disclosure, in case you forgot since last Wednesday, the voice you just heard is that of my guest, Dina Elias Robinson, the researcher and editor-in-chief of Freerangeclub.com, which is really the most reliable, that is thoroughly researched and fact-checked site online about safe, economical, nutritious, weight balancing, and tasty foods, including lots of fast and easy recipes. But today I'll be picking Dina's brain for information today about what exactly antioxidants are, what their function is. Dina will also reveal the reason she chooses the giraffe as the symbol of Freerangeclub.com, which, by the way, is open to everyone for free.
Well, would you like me to start with a giraffe?
Sure.
Okay, have you ever gone to the zoo and seen a giraffe? If you have, you probably noticed that they're very dainty. As big and huge as they are in body, with a long neck and a tiny head, you cannot believe the size of their tongue. They have a very long black tongue. Why do they need that? Because they feast on the tiniest, freshest, greenest, newest little leaves on top of the acacia trees. And that is why I thought, first of all, that the giraffe is so careful about what it eats, but it has another quality. It stands guard around the other wild animals. And because they're so tall, they see danger coming from further away than those animals would. So they warn people. And boy, do I warn everybody about toxic foods.
You certainly do. And so, did you consider any other animals before the giraffe?
Not for 1 second.
You knew that this was the one.
Appealed to me from the get-go. But you wanted to know about antioxidants.
Yes.
Well, antioxidants are a very interesting set of chemicals. Basically, a lot of sites call them free radical scavengers. Why? Free radicals are broken pieces of cells that can harm our system, can be carcinogenic. They're oxidated, they fall apart, they are truly bad actors. They go into cells, they make them multiply in an unnatural and bad way. And the antioxidants basically scavenge. They eat them up, then clear them out of your system, and they make sure that your system is free of free radicals. In order to be aware of how antioxidants work, there are many sites online that will tell you a whole list of what are the most powerful antioxidants. My list is the superfoods, basically. It consists of superfoods. I'm going to start with one of my great loves, the dark chocolate, which has polyphenols, and it has tremendous chemicals that will, first of all, it tastes like heaven, and second, it also is incredibly effective as an antioxidant. Berries, I always thought...
I have a question, I'm sorry, about dark chocolate.
Yes, of course.
There are many chocolates on the market today that are filled with sugar. If you were to choose a dark chocolate bar, for example, that is 50% sugar, does the sugar counteract with the polyphenols?
This is a brilliant question.
Thank you.
And I thank you for asking
my pleasure.
Yes, there are bad chocolates and good chocolates. We buy the organic. I think it's called Black Label or something, but there are many. Dagoba is another very good brand. Organic chocolates always will give you more cocoa content, like 57 or even 75, which is a little bitter, and much less sugar. So it's not as sweet, but that doesn't mean it's not delicious, and definitely you should look for the sugar content because it can counteract all the good stuff.
Right.
Absolutely. Good question.
Thank you.
Excellent question. Now getting to the berries. It knocked me for a loop to find out that my beloved blueberries, which I always consider at the top of the list of superfoods, when it comes to antioxidants, guess what? The blackberries have even more antioxidant in them
Interesting.
than the blueberries. If you have any digestive problems with the seeds or whatever, just strain it. That's all. Just put it in a Cuisinart or a juicer and strain it. Nuts and seeds are wonderful. Another big surprise. Yes.
About the berries, do you think the reason why the blackberries contain more antioxidants than the blueberries is because they have more pigmentation? You know, the color is a lot darker than a blueberry with a blackberry. I think that may have something to do with it.
I did not notice a darker hue, and I don't have a clue why it has more antioxidants.
Okay.
So maybe it's in the seeds. Who knows? Because it's like raspberries. It's got a lot of seeds.
Mm-hmm.
I have diverticulitis, so I have to be very, very careful not to have too many seeds because they get stuck in little pockets. So some people can have as much as they want, and some people have to be judicious about it. Should we go on to the nuts and seeds?
We should, yes.
Another humongous surprise. I thought almonds were the best. Guess what? Pecans are the best as far as antioxidants go. They pack a tremendous antioxidant wallop, which is wonderful because I love pecans too. Seeds are incredibly healthy. Sunflower seeds have the best amount or the greatest amount of antioxidants, but pumpkin seeds are wonderful too.
But keep in mind the salt, the sugar content with all foods. Make sure it's organic, it's of the highest quality, no additives, because that completely takes away from why you're eating the food.
Absolutely. And they give you roasted sunflower seeds, which of course have a better crunch, and it tastes a little bit better, but we only buy raw and unsalted, unprocessed, organic.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we munch on it, and I love salt. My husband can't have salt, so I put a little pink Himalayan salt on it if I feel like it, but most of the time I got used to just enjoying its natural flavor. Next, whole grains. Lots of antioxidants. Gotta be careful with whole grains also, because some people are a little sensitive to wheat. Other people, very few people, much fewer than people think, are gluten sensitive. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have taken to gluten-free foods because it's the fashion. If you're not gluten sensitive, just have the whole grain as it is. Red grapes, like wine, red wine, all these, they're wonderful antioxidants. The only problem with wine is that they have to put some preservative in it, and they have those sulfites and everything. But there are organic wines that don't have sulfites. You just have to use them up quickly. Mm-hmm. Sauerkraut, yogurt, kefir, anything that is fermented. Kombucha. Oh my goodness, yes, kombucha. Thanks for reminding me. It's wonderful antioxidant. Seafood, seaweed. They have seaweed that they sell ready-made with sesame seeds, and it's absolutely delicious. It's fermented a little bit. I just eat it out of the package dry because I love seaweed and because it's a little salty, and as I said, I love salt. One thing about seafood, which I forgot to say last week, do not have swordfish or any other bottom feeder, because all the damn, excuse the expression, PCBs have fallen, they're heavy metal, and they've fallen to the bottom of the sea, and that's where they're concentrated. And unfortunately, the poor little fish that are bottom feeders,
They're forced to eat it,
they
consume
eat it, and they're toxic beyond words. So forget that.
Going back to the sauerkraut yogurt and the kefir, what makes it a superfood? Is it the live and the active cultures that come from the fermentation?
Exactly. When you culture, my mother used to make yogurt at home.
Okay.
Also, something we call buttermilk, which is like kefir. And it's kind of soury. I love it. It's lighter than milk. You can make it out of skim milk too, but you'll have to take more time until it sets. Yes, bacteria, the good, friendly flora without which we cannot digest our food, is cultured in when you make any kind of, what was the word?
Fermented.
So thank you. Sometimes I lose a word here and there. Fermented foods, they acquire the friendly bacteria that are very good for our digestion. And as I said, it's also a scavenger for free radicals.
Okay.
All right, next question.
Why red grapes, not green grapes?
Red grapes have more of the flavonoids. I have to take a look at it. I made some notes here. Old memory ain't what it used to was. Red grapes. They have the antioxidant polyphenols. Polyphenols, very, very active in tea.
Yes, green tea especially.
Green tea and black tea, believe it or not. Except black tea has a lot of caffeine. Green tea has a little less. You can have decaf tea.
Watching an episode, a show on KPBS the other night, and it was this travel blogger. This guy works for KPBS, travels all over the world, and he was in Shanghai in this episode, and he spoke to a Chinese, I think it was a chef who was probably in his 60s, 70s, and he said that when you add milk to tea, the milk takes away from the polyphenols. And it's important to drink your tea unsweetened in its natural state, just steeped in hot water.
Brilliant. Absolutely.
That was mind-boggling. I know my dad, hi Dad, he drinks, his tea with milk every single morning.
Right. Indians love sweetened and milk down, I mean half and half practically, tea. And I used to go to I still go to Indian restaurants, and when I allow myself a little sip, it is delicious, but it's not good for you. Same thing with coffee. The moment you put milk into coffee or tea, you've destroyed all its good qualities.
Interesting.
And it becomes a slush in your body, kind of mucusy thing, and it creates mucus. It's not a good thing. So drinking it pristine, no sugar. You can put some stevia in it. Stevia is a plant.
Right.
And you put just the stevia is extremely sweet. All you need is 2 drops and it's sweet.
Yeah.
If you absolutely have to, and it's wonderful.
Okay.
But yes, thank you for adding that. I think his name is Steve something or other. And I love his travel logs. I used to be a travel writer in my previous incarnation. And before I reinvented myself as a foodie. And yes, indeed, he's absolutely right. But the fact that the Chinese know that is wonderful revelation. I'm delighted about it.
Yes, same. Okay, well, Dina, thank you so much for being on the program again. Of course, we'll be here next week. Thank you so much, and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.